The SML is the best league that CFM has to offer. Madden 24 was our 9th Madden cycle, and in honor of Madden 24 concluding, we had a league-wide vote to decide the top 10 players of the cycle. So without further ado, here we are, the top 10 players, starting with number 10.
I got the meats as one of those guys, when you see him ahead on your schedule, you just don't want to play that guy. He is always consistently a top 10 member in this league, and he definitely knows how to dissect defenses, and he knows what plays he wants to call to do so. He knows the routes, he knows which player to put in what position. He's just a very strategic player. He's also one of the better team builders in the league as well. He has no problem hitting that reset button and rebuilding a team from the ground up, or letting go of a superstar 99 player overall and starting over again with a rookie and developing him up over the next 2 years. He's very confident in his abilities, which makes him dangerous. I've known Meats for about 5 or 6 years now at this point, and we've probably had 200 or so meetings, and he's never somebody I look forward to playing because I just know how challenging it's going to be. He's definitely a top 10 member in the SML this cycle.
Kicking off this list is I Got the Meats, who in my opinion is an underrated passer. I think he improvises very well. He's a very effective runner. He made a Super Bowl this cycle and arguably probably had his best cycle of his SML career. That's Meats at number 10.
Despite having the last pick in the SML team draft, Straw had a breakout year in the Madden 25 cycle. He burst into the spotlight immediately by making a Simbardi in Season 1. What makes Straw so special is that his passing attack is the best in the SML when he has it going. When he's on, he can throw the ball and spread it around to any receiver and make big play after big play. This cycle was only a small taste of what's to come in a bright SML career for Straw.
Straw is one of the most dynamic passers in SML history. He made the Super Bowl with probably the worst team in the game in Season 1, and honestly, I think the sky is the limit in the future for Straw. No question why he made this year's top 10 list.
When you play KP, not only do you got to bring the stick skills, but you better bring your mind, because this dude is going to analyze and study every aspect of a game and be able to make sure he knows the play that you're calling, probably even before you call it. Then he'll take it away, and then he'll try to do something creative by throwing in concepts or giving you a look and doing something different. So whenever you play him, it's not just playing the game of Madden, but it's playing an actual genius. This dude studied brains in college and got his degree in brain research. This dude is super smart, and he's a great Madden player. Good luck.
KP wasn't just the average new guy in the SML in his first cycle. He actually made a Super Bowl, won it. He came back in an AFC championship game. He's calculated, he's precise. He has a very bright future. Comes in at number 8, but he only played half the cycle. The future is bright.
Hey SML, Double Race No Bean here. It's my pleasure to introduce a first-time top 10 member in Gouda. Gouda finds himself here off the back of a legendary playoff run where, one way or another, he beat 4 of the SML's best in Dump, Stavo, QP, and Straw. There's been some chirping about the legitimacy of this run, but when we look back in 3 cycles, his name will be on the banner and his name will be in this video. Congratulations to a guy who's unanimously loved in chat and has always done things the right way.
He may be number 7 on the list, but he's probably number 1 in our hearts when it comes to one of the best Super Bowl runs in SML history. And speaking of runs, he didn't just eat a dirty taco. He has one of the best run games in the league. And I think now that God has won one, he may win 2 next cycle.
Yeah, I don't think Doink gets the credit that he deserves as a player. Cycle in, cycle out, he is one of those guys that when he's on your schedule, you don't want to play him because you know if you don't bring your best, he's going to beat you. He's a guy that's not afraid to throw downfield. He doesn't have a vanilla brand offense. He's not afraid to get sexy with it, get sticky with it. He's one of those guys that takes pride in, having a nice juke and putting up a lot of offensive points and doing it in style as well. I think that having set feet lead, people wanted to discredit his career arc, I should say, especially because he won a Super Bowl with it. But this cycle, a lot of guys won Super Bowls. It wasn't just guys with set feet lead. So I think that when you look at him consistently, cycle in, cycle out, he's one of those guys, like I said, he's a top guy. and it's no surprise that we find him on the list of the top 10 in the SML, and probably, in my opinion, should be a top 5 player.
There were a lot of naysayers that said Doink would never win the big one. They said he was the biggest choke artist in the SML. That all changed in Madden 2024 when he joined the Falcons, showed that he's one of the best team builders in the league, but not only that, one of the most creative play callers in the league, and a very, very electric passer. When he's passing the ball well, he can't be stopped, and he has sticky run skills. Doink is the number 6 player of Madden 2024 in the Sim Madden League.
I mean, what can I say about Woods? This guy almost won 2 Super Bowls this cycle. He's the only owner in SML that can make Josh Allen work. We've had the best owners in the league have Josh Allen that can't make him work. And Woods has just got better over the years. Everybody gives him stuff for being the old guy in the league, but look, he's just getting better with time. I respect Woods, and he's going to be at the top for years to come.
3 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win. He had elite defense and was cool as the other side of the pillow in pressure situations. Woods is the top 5 player in the SML.
What's there to say about primetime 000 22-time champion that hasn't already been said before? He's a tough matchup every single game that is going to demand absolute perfection from you if you want a shot at winning. Your defensive mistakes, they're going to get punished. He's going to keep pressure on you by efficiently passing the ball while completing deep balls at an improbable rate. And on top of all that, he's going to play very stout defense himself. His user is going to know where you're looking to place the ball while he's playing the best Tampa 2 defense in the league. If you're fortunate enough to have a lead on him late in the game is far from over, as Prime is never truly out of a game. One of the aspects that separates Prime from a lot of the other great players is that he's never going to tell you post-loss that he was trying new things, that it's summer, that he had too much chocolate milk. He's going to take his loss and then think about how badly he's going to beat you in your next matchup.
1 Super Bowl win, the most regular season wins in the SML this cycle, and a Season 1 Super Bowl victory with a pretty average Colts team. Primetime 000 is a top 5 player in Madden 2024.
Dan He 22. What can you say? If you could mold the perfect SML owner, you'd probably take more of Dan's qualities than anyone else. Yeah, he studies, and he studies, and he studies, and he has a lot of hours, but he doesn't do it to be cheap or cheesy or glitchy. He enjoys the game, he wants to be good at it, and when you play him, you don't feel like he just glitched you up and down the field because he spent so much time in the game. He's a great trash talker, but my favorite thing about Dan is that when he talks trash, he doesn't take it too far. And whether he wins or he loses after a trash talk game, he doesn't take it too far ever. So, Dan, you're a great owner, a great player, but at the end of the day, you're just a good person to have in the league.
2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win. He plays great defense. He knows when to throw the ball away. He knows when to take a check down. He knows when to run with his quarterback. He did all this with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dan is a top 3 player in Madden 2024. Hats off to him.
QP, what more can you say? The name already strikes fear in most people's hearts when you gotta load up and play him. Already arguably one of the best passers in the league, a very underrated runner, also one of the best defenders as well. QP has amassed multiple Simbardis, and by even collecting one this cycle. QP, arguably one of the greatest SML coaches of all time.
Another man with multiple Super Bowl appearances, and that lands QP at number 2 on this year's SML Top 10. Q is a dynamic passer, a very sticky runner. He has a great user, and he proved very late in this cycle that he can still pass the ball after trading Justin Herbert. QP is a top 2 player in the Sim Madden League.
What's up, SML? Torque here. Here to present another top 10 player of the cycle, Dump. Man, Dump has had a great cycle with a solid Bengals group. Nobody better, honestly, to take on that team and lead them to what he led them to. He got a lot of crap all cycle about having a super team, but a lot of people don't understand that, yeah, you may have a super team, but you also have to deliver, and he sure did this cycle. He built what was already a great team into a legendary team this cycle. Being in a tough division with Dan and a tough AFC, he led them to 2 Simbardis while taking on some tough NFC opponents in those Super Bowls. So congratulations to Dump, and couldn't be more proud of him.
And that is right. Dump was voted the #1 player in the SML of Madden 2024. He had 2 Super Bowl wins, one of the most explosive offenses in SML history when it comes to running the ball, when it comes to passing the ball. He played great defense and just looked unstoppable. Dump is the best player in the SML. And that concludes the top 10 players of Madden 2024 in the SML. I want to give a quick shout out just to our league members, the people who narrated this video, the members who were so dedicated all cycle that had strong cycles, and everybody who voted on this list. Every single SML member voted in this top 10 list. Thank you so much for your time, everybody, and I'm excited for what the future holds.